Well, hello, hello, happy Friday, Dragon family. We're gonna have some fun today. I realize it's been ages since I've done many dragon readings. Mini, as in really super short, but they're just a clip of what I do in the regular like 25-minute readings with clients. And I thought, this is gonna be super fun. Perfect to do for Friday the 13th. I sort of felt all week like this was the day I wanted to connect with you guys because magic abounds on this day, right? And there's a lot of people freaked out and thinking, oh, it's blood magic, it's fear, it's whatever. There's no superstitions. This is a fantastic day. So while we're waiting, I know there's a bunch of people that were going to be coming on or watching for it, and the crowd is building there. So I'm just going to give a little update while we're waiting for everybody to come on. And then I'll sort of look through and scroll through and see. The dragon readings are going to be for anybody that hasn't had one before. And any of my quantum flight people, I see some of you on there. I'm going to wait because you guys have sessions coming anyway. So I'm going to try and hit people that maybe haven't received the work before, haven't had a reading before, have no clue what it is. But let's see, because they are super fun. So I have had an interesting week. Speaking again of the quantum flight group, we had the black and white dragons show up, particularly the black dragon this week in our work. So I kept the black and white dragons. And what's interesting, as you can see, I had the merged dragon directly on screen during my class this week, but you can see where they usually hang. That merge is actually showing up in the mirror behind me. If you look up right there, the merged black and white canvas is showing in the mirror. I love that. So we have them all. We have the pillar merging, and oh my goodness, there's Candace. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, my dear. So that energy, let's just do an energy check-in for this week. Big movement with your central pillar. Big movement with merging in and the black dragon coming forward, and even in higher octaves, that black dragon energy, but not just the black dragon with your shadow work and your, typically the black dragon is associated with your fears of power, really diving in. Fantastic, Elijah. I knew I was late for a reason. I was like, I don't know, I just couldn't get it together. Like, couldn't find my phone, couldn't find, like all this stuff. And then I had to go grab something out of my altar box, when I build a dragon altar and I have a stone for each of the elements, I had to go grab one of them, and I'll share it in a minute. So the piece I was just sharing about the black dragon is typically we go in and the black dragon is there to help us really confront our fears, really dive into the deeper shadow that's still residue, that's sitting there stuck, trying to move it, coming in and bringing it up to burn it up. Awesome, Jennifer. And so when we have that, that is also bringing about the counterpoint to that within the dark light, within the black light. There is divinity, and there is like what can be considered true darkness, shadow, the opposite of what we might consider Christ light or white light. But there are both pillars within. The divinity of the black light is as potent and comes into balance. And when we're merging, when we're in this eminent point of merge, they're going to be spiraling in together, as with both aspects of the white frequency. So that's the energy that's been at play this week. You might have been feeling like a deep stillness, but at the same time, this weird external, like chaotic energy. Even the word clutter came in this week with someone, that there's clutter in the field, and yet it's ready to just be evaporate, be like, taken away. So that's the energy focus this week, and I love it. There's so many of you have taken the time to actually align to this specific timing for this Friday, and I'm glad so many people were able to. I did write down a couple names that were disappointed that they couldn't make it live, and I am going to do readings for them, so it's on there. But this is what I wanted to bring in. It's interesting because it's aligned with the black dragon. If you recognize this, and I always loved this piece, I had to buy this piece of carborundum when I saw it because it looks like a dragon head. And this is the stone associated with the black dragon. So the stones are typically, what's interesting about the stones associated with the elemental and black and white dragons is that those stones are like a higher vibrational octave that's representative physically in the earth. And yet, if you go into the vibration, it brings you up to the next lineage of that. So their stones are more associated with the Middle Earth and Deep Earth dragons, like the carnelian for the fire dragon, the aquamarine for the water dragon. So this one is the black dragon stone, and I brought it forward not only because we have the black dragon energies going, yeah, perfect, kind of going on this week, but I actually had a session yesterday, and this person's dragon revealed, or it started to, and the first energy showing was the energy of this carborundum. And the beautiful thing about carborundum is it's hard to see on this screen, but all of these facets are refracting different colors of the rainbow. So it's like the inversion of the rainbow dragon, but it's within that black lineage frequency. And so I was all excited because I've never met someone in body who is a carborundum dragon. And so it was just very exciting, very cool. And I felt like, you know what, that it's amazing that that's revealed in the same week that we've got the black dragon. And the black dragon was there to work with them like so powerfully in a new way. The black dragon is working in a very new way and expanding their fire breath through directly into some pinpoints on the person's body to release some stuff. And so just wanted to share that because I am even, here I am, the Dragon Lady. I've been working with them since like early 2005, 6, wrote the book in 2007. And so they've been around my sphere. I've been working with them for a long time. And every time I have a group or a program or new clients, or we move forward collectively, where we've gone in the last 5 years has blown doors. The last 2 years in particular, on any of the previous decade, right? There's been so much information coming, and why I need a sabbatical to write the second book. And all of this information coming through, every time we step forward, new dragons can appear and reveal themselves to me. They're ready to share because we can actually reach that level of communication. So many of the very high frequency dragons started showing up in the last couple of years because we were finally ready. But to me, this revelation, I've known about a carborundum dragon. I don't think that it was one that wanted to be in the deck. I don't think it is. And yet I've not met one in person. So I get these thrills every week too. You guys are expanding and learning and meeting new dragons along your journey. Well, so am I. And as I do, I can share them with you. And they're like old friends. It's like, oh, of course you exist. Of course you're there. It's like when the flame dragons presented themselves to me, I was beyond myself. Like, oh my goodness, wow. So it's very, very fun. I got to say, I love my work, and I love that there's so many of you here today. This is exciting. So I'm going to dive in, and I'm just going to have you scroll because my scroll is about this big. So I'm going to go through and feel, and this is fun for my quantum flight people to be able to see. I need to scroll this way. I'm going to go back through and catch some names. So I guess rather than trying to catch all the names of who's on, if you are interested, if you've never had one, you're not part of my quantum flight program, and if you're just coming on, go back and watch the first few minutes of why I'm not doing readings for you guys. You've never had one before, you're new to the group maybe, and you're interested in a mini reading. I want you to go through now so that I can catch some names and focus my energies into that. And there's Jessica. Hello, hello. All right. So anybody that's on live right now that wants, I never had one, I'm interested. Matt Krishmarek, Bronan Fleming. Okay, stop for a second. Lori. All right. Lorena. All right. That will keep us busy for quite some time. Awesome, Kritch. I'm probably going to butcher your last name, Matt. I apologize. Bronan and Lori. Oh. Margaret Phillips. We're going to be on for an hour if I do all these. Let's see. Let me go back. I want to get Matt's name, Kirchmerich. Hopefully that's close enough. Braun and Fleming. All right. So what these are, as I said, they're just like a mini snippet of what a full reading would what a full reading would entail is a lot more detail, a lot more of maybe really deeply what they're working on, how many guides you have, who are all around. But these mini readings can get very, even though they're brief, they can give some really deep insight. So let's just dive in, and I'm going to go from the top of the list. Matt Kirchmerich, and I apologize if I butcher the name. And what's fun for you guys that maybe aren't receiving a reading is to, especially I'm going to encourage especially those in my Quantum Flight group, but anyone, if you are intuitive and you are a reader, I want you to go into the space while I'm sitting here and going into, awesome, going into your own reading space to pick up and see and feel what I start describing, to maybe give yourself your own confirmations of tidbits that you picked up that match, because that's a useful tool when you're developing your skills or expanding them. The hardest part for people that become readers or channels is to build their confidence and trust the information that's coming. And there's not always a lot of opportunity to do that. I was gifted with a way that that worked in my life early on, where I had a friend who would work with me and hand me things, stones and arrowheads in particular, that would say, okay, tell me the story of this one. And so I would stop and tune in, and then he could validate for me, because he'd been in all those places, he knew where they were found, he knew the history of the area, and validate the information that was coming. And when you get that level of confirmation, even if it's only 2, 3, 4 times, then you start really trusting yourself and trusting your own information. And I'm going to encourage you, if you have been reading for some time, you know you're intuitive, you know you're picking it up, start shifting your channel to your telepathic body. What do I mean by that? Your clairs are all in your throat chakra, your openings to all of your clairs, even though it might be kinetic in your body. Hello, Sean. Or clairvoyant, where you're getting visuals. I want you to allow all of the clairs, set your intention to receive this signal through a weaving together of all of those into a full telepathic signal. It's a larger signal, it weaves more in together, and it feels very different in the reading space. And my own guides have been working on me very particularly in the last 4 to 6 weeks is when this started coming in, to shift my own reading space and my own reading habits, because opening our telepathic body is a big part of where we're headed now. So just allowing, hello, Shakya, good to see you. All right, so in that space, I'm moving into that, reading through my telepathic body, and I'm gonna just start with Matt and allow. So my intention here is to feel the most prominent guide with you currently. So Matt, yours is coming in as, it's interesting because there's definitely a lot of black energy, but it's not a black dragon. There's black and a really deep bluish green within it. It's like a refractive. It's almost like, it's not quite obsidian either, but it's a shiny black like obsidian, but it's a frequency. It's not dropped down to the level of obsidian like a rock, like an elemental, but it's got this incredible deep blue and deep green, I would call like, not just filament, but like a layering throughout it, as if it's a combination of those 3 energies. When it presents, the head is pure black. And all of this weaving is like in and across and through, particularly through the breastplate. Let me see if it's also through the wings. So there's, what he's showing me is like a, interesting. I feel like he's a hybrid on a higher, like if you were to take water dragons and black dragons, and even they're subtly different. The elemental versus the intergalactic, they're subtly different vibrational levels. The black is slightly higher, or higher vibrationally. And if you were to take and merge those into a higher octave of that, like a hybrid from those two lineages, this is the one that's stepping forward and working with you right now. And so I want to see, what is he actually working with you on? Why is he presenting? It is presenting as more masculine energy than feminine. The higher dragons typically are above crystal, are all perfectly androgynous, merged masculine and feminine beings, but they're they present energetically because one side or the other is pushing forward more directly because of their work with you. So presenting a masculine side, it's the masculine side predominantly that is most effective or affecting and working with you. So what he's telling me is he's present to work with the opening of your heart. This is why it's a merge of power and heart lines. The black is of power lineage. The water is the love line, heart lineage. But it's about opening your heart to see your own internal mirror, to see your own depths of what we might consider shadow. The black pillar, the depths of the heart that do not want to be seen. And about you being willing and having this as a guide, a very masculine, powerful one that can hold, like guy to guy, like, I got your back, fist bump, we could do this together, and give you the courage with that presence to go in and allow the heart to open in a way that allows softness within to look at the depths of the heart space. Doesn't mean you're going to find horrendous things. It means you need to be willing to go in and look at the depth of the heart space in order to release it and clear it. And this particular dragon, that's this beautiful hybrid energy, is present to do that. Let me see if they have a name they want to share. As is typical, very long, beautiful syllabic string. I'm going to ask him if there's something more direct, more human framework, or more direct, shorter that we could use. So he's sticking with something that's a little long, but Birnaha. Beautiful. All right. Let me move down the list. I'm going to try and get as many as I can in here. Braun and Fleming. Immediately, wow, I feel like they're lined up, ready. Like seeing my list, like they can feel it. So Braun and Fleming, immediate stepping in from the left. So this is working on your feminine side. It's a yellowish orange, really beautiful, almost flamboyant energy, sort of like a, if you're familiar with a Spanish dancer, it's a nudibranch that has like flamenco skirts. When it swims in the water, nudibranch is a kind of ocean creature, like a sea slug, but beautiful. And it's got these folds of tissue that come up like a Spanish dancer's skirt. So this has sort of that energy. It's a flowing, very feminine, very soft, yellow and orange. Typically, yellow and orange is the air lineage, which is associated with wisdom lineage. Coming in on your feminine side, working on the feminine aspect with you. But it is a masculine energy. Definitely closer to androgynous, but I feel like the masculine is a little more present. And this one is about leading you forward. It's almost like taking that, giving me this energetic presence of these dancing skirts, this party atmosphere, this really liven it up, bring it out, of sort of bringing you out of your shell, saying, let's come forward, go into really allowing yourself to be seen, allowing you to actually see the fullness of yourself. Doesn't mean you have to be flamboyant, doesn't mean you have to go out and be showy, but are you willing to be seen? Are you willing to let, and it's interesting that this is wisdom lineage that's bringing this out, that is trying to let you see how brilliant you are, to see, even in your own mirror, how much you have to offer, And I think that's the vein of like really let yourself be seen and how much you have to offer and how much you can give. And this one, when I ask about a name or a direct connection that you can go and work with this dragon directly, she's giving me the very simple Sarah. I don't know if Sarah is like a family name or someone that's important to you. It's Seraph, not seraphim like the angels. Sarahina, but you're saying Sarah for short is just fine. Beautiful. Now I'm going to catch one that I know could not be here, who let me know. Marcy Oles. Marcy Oles. And the dragons are like shifting around. They're like, wait a minute, we had this. You wrote down these names in this. Now you're like shifting order. I said, well, you guys play that game on me all the time when I'm teaching. They want to like shake it up, pinball around. So yes, Marcy Ola stepping forward is a beautiful purple, like a deeper purple color, soft, silky, smooth. Gosh, the energy of this one is very much smoothing out, silky, the soft flow of like your fingers on velvet. The whole energy of this purple, deep purple dragon, not too deep. It's a darker purple, but not deep, deep purple, not like an indigo, but not a lavender, not a lilac. Really velvety to... If it brought down physically, it would probably be like touching something very silky and soft like that. But it's about the energetic of that. And this is, the wording present, Marcy, is soothing transition. That there's a need for you to have recuperation energy around you right now. Soothing transition, as if you're in something challenging, something hard going on for you. And this is very much like the energy of Tianu, where you can go and just rest in, you're welcome, Bronan, and rest in the arms and the wings of this dragon, that they are ready to hold you to help a smooth transition happen through some recent, whether it's turmoil or just you needing a respite, you needing like some self-care and something to fall into. And so this dragon is bringing that forward for you. Let me pick up, and it is a feminine energy. Shirana is going along with this purple dragon, Marcy. So this to me is a time, and I would say I'm getting a timeline. I don't often get timelines of how long they're going to be around you, but it feels like for the next 2-3 months, you need to really allow yourself some space, allow yourself to just unwind and go into, allow a smooth transition from whatever's been going on to what's next. That it's okay to rest. It's okay to treat yourself well. It's okay to just stop and breathe out and let yourself fall into this energy with her. So really beautiful. I love that one. And you can see how different they all are. And that's sort of what's fun about these gatherings, is I can feel this host of dragons, and hopefully you guys that are tuning in on your reading space can also feel that. This circle of dragons around this. Yeah, Vanya, awesome. Yeah, the people that are called to listen in on these are also like, there's triggers, there's hits, so pay attention to that. So this amazing gathering of beings, and they're a different combination that then I get to be around. And I don't get to be around like the dragon party all the time. In fact, that reminds me of a really funny thing. There was a question today in the Quantum Flight group, or so, I forget where I see it. It might have been for the Law of Dragons feed. Someone was asking, what do you call a group of dragons? Is it like a gaggle of geese or a flock of ducks? What do you call a group of dragons? And someone said a flight or a thunder. And one of the responses was a really great start to a party. I said, yeah, absolutely. That is what's happening today with this energy. So let me drop into the next one. Lori Zara. Interesting. I just got to speak with you yesterday on a discovery call up in Ontario. Super fun. So let me see. Lori. Sky blue. This is very interesting. So different than the energies that were just present. Sky blue, uplifting, like almost like that energy within a cloud. It's not white clouds, but it's that beautiful sky blue. It's like an uplifting, heart lifting. There's energy right on the front, as if it's like a precursor, Lori, to high heart work. So high heart is magenta. It's out in front of us. It's something we move to activating as we move forward in our pathway, our spiritual evolution. But this feels like something within, almost like a bridge working between your human heart chakra and the high heart chakra, which can still activate within the human framework, but is going out into helping bridge to open that high heart fully. It's a precursor. It's like prepping you. And it is staying fully androgynous. I'm not feeling a male-female split. I'm just feeling this very uplifting energy. And instead of, like, typically a sky blue, you might think, oh, it's got to be the air dragons. It's got to be in that lineage. But it feels more like a water dragon lineage, a heart lineage. It's going in of just lifting up. And it's like the messaging verbally is lightening the heart. Lighten the heart. Allow it to be uplifted and move into a higher way of loving, a higher way of, it's that bridge into the high heart of unconditionality. And when we lighten up and we allow forgiveness, we allow repentance, we allow everything in the heart to just fall away, it allows the lightness to move us up into that unconditional space, that space where there's no judgment and the heart can just love and open. And it's like prepping you for that ability to really be able to open to that. So that's really beautiful. Let me see if I can get this dragon to present with a name or a mantra of some kind for you to connect directly. Celia. Okay. I love these. And you can tell they're fast and furious. And literally as fast as I'm talking is how the 20-25 minute dragon readings go. It's like, can I get it all out in that framework of time? So knowing this is perfect. I can do a little more time. So let's see. It was Lorena Douglas. If I wrote it down right, I can't scroll all the way back up. But I believe there was Lorena Douglas in the feed when I first said, all right, click in. Wow. Again, shifting gears. This is really fun for me because it's ping pong balling around all these different energies sequencing, which even though some of you guys aren't getting readings today, you're going to feel the amount of energy. You can feel it like, boom, uplifted because you're touching in. When you're in my sphere, we're part of this family sphere together. All of these energies are adding, compounding what's available in the energetic sphere today. So you're going to receive something. You're going to, yeah, Bob, I know. I've had Freds, I've had Joe, just call me Joe. Like, it's very funny and they have a great sense of humor with it. So just allowing everyone that checks in, feel all these dragons because they're responsive and they are going to drop little gem gifts into each of your spheres, whether you're getting a specific reading or not. So Lorena, yours is coming in from the right side. So this is in the masculine, really like flame orange red. I would say it's almost between a carnelian, like a deep earth energy, and then moving up towards flame, even though I wouldn't consider them in the same lineage. It's lifted that vibration up. It literally feels like a burning up energy is working with you, but it's not a destruction. It's not a come in and burst and burn. It's a very vibrant, it's like, let's move house. Let's do some spring or fall cleaning. Let's come in and just blast out some stuff, Lorena, that is holding you back. There's some belief patterns. There's some paradigms that are not serving you anymore. And we're going to blast those out. And it's funny. Let me just feel, let me just be sure of that. Masculine, feminine is coming over my feminine side. But again, feels androgynous, doesn't, and I'm questioning it because it keeps splitting and showing me like a feminine energy and then a masculine and bouncing back and forth. And I feel like this is part of the energy that's meant to work with you, Lorena, is can you bounce around? Can you bounce over here and let that go? Can you bounce over here? And it's really different thematically, but can I bounce over here? And allowing that to be like, let's just like, let it all go. Let's burn it. First, let's see it. Let's bring it to light. Can you see it in the bonfire? Here we go. Let's let it go. So allowing you to really make some shifts consciously of things that you've been holding on to, particularly belief systems is what this is about. Of things that are holding you back, ways of being, habits of response, habits of what you allow to exist around you as a belief system that doesn't allow something bigger to come in. Let them go so that the bigger picture can come in, because this new like fire energy is like there's some creative force behind it, wants to bring some new stuff into your field, but can't until you let go of these other belief systems. And just going to pick up a name signal mantra with that one. Faraday. Very interesting. That does feel, Faraday's saying that's sort of a play on words with your fire. Okay, Faraday. I'm thinking like Faraday cage. Someone recently said something like a microwave is Faraday cage. That signals can't go in and out of it. So I find that very funny, as if there's a play on words going on with this one. As in, like, yes, there's fire within it, but a Faraday cage, like, burst it, like in a microwave. What happens when you put metal in? Flame it up. Get it out of there. So, Faraday, Lorena, love it. Margaret Phillips. Margaret. Oh, immediate into a soft green. I would say more like an emerald to... Yeah, bright, brilliant emerald green, closer to like an Irish green than the emerald dragon in the deck. I don't have the image close by. Is a softer green. This is more like a literal, like a leprechaun Irish green, but still vibrantly within the emerald dragon framework. So coming up from the Middle Earth. The energy's coming up across the front of my chest, Margaret. This brilliant green is clearing energy up the center of the chest. So just from my framework of knowledge, the Emerald Dragon is about our personal truth. And really being able to own it and see it, really being able to recognize and look in the mirror of knowing ourselves deeply. So this one, the vibrancy in the color is, she's showing me and reflecting that, because that's moving up into what is typically associated with the color of our human heart chakra, that brilliant green, like leprechaun Irish green, very spring green, to bring your attention to that emerald framework, that personal truth moving up through the heart space, to start to really recognize in the depths of your heart what you really want, who you really are, and what you really want, to define yourself by that and allow yourself to be defined by that instead of by what you may have been defined by all along, or allowed yourself to be defined by. That there's some deeper truths in your heart that are starting to reveal, that are ready to come forward for you to really let go. You know what? That is really me, and I'm going to start living that. So she's there to hold and give you the strength and courage, but to really hold the refraction of light for you to start to see yourself fully. And she's picking another very interesting human name, not as common as like Bob, but Esther. And I'm not sure why, if Esther is, again, a family name or something familiar that would make you smile or make your heart smile. But she likes Esther for whatever reason. I'm going to say that feels full and complete just for that short snippet. Now, Natalie Lechna. And I'm going to have to try and do this one in French. So just bear with me, because I am going to go through and touch in. You're welcome, Lorena. Let me just see. I'm going to pick one more. I feel like there was another that popped in. Vanya Lavitt. I'm going to put you on the list after this, Vanya. So I'm going to do this one in French. Because I think Natalie only speaks French. So bear with me while I do that. And then we'll go into Vanya. So Nathalie, le dragon vient vraiment dans une énergie douce, doucement, les rayons du pourpre, de rose, de blanche, et c'est une combinaison douce. Elle s'entoure autour du cœur, comme l'emballe, comme si elle fait une, je pense pas au mot, l'emballer dans les cercles, dans des spirales autour du cœur pour guérir le cœur, pour l'adoucir et pour l'ouvrir. Elle est vraiment du lignage du cœur. Elle s'appelle Sinaya. Et elle, c'est féminine. Elle est vraiment là pour guérir, ouvrir et adoucir le cœur. Il faut simplement rester dans l'énergie avec elle. Je suggère chaque nuit, quand vous allez dormir, pour rester avec elle et recevoir. Il y a beaucoup dans le cœur qui... du tristesse, je me souviens plus le mot grief. C'est vraiment profonde, ancienne. Une tristesse ancienne. Et c'est le temps de le lâcher. Elle est là pour aider à lâcher. Ok. So, Vanya Lavitt. All right. So this is interesting because I just read your last comment and they're sort of diving onto that. I'm always ready for a dragon message. So they're saying, well, let's just give a message then instead of all this other floofy information. But the color is like sapphire, sitting on my right shoulder. Sorry, guys. We love this information. Us humans, we love all your adornments and descriptions, and we love to have great visuals of you, even though we can open our heart. So open your heart, Vanya, just feel this. There's a male sapphire dragon sitting on my shoulder who's grinning very broadly, and let me feel his message come through fully. So I always love when it's unexpected. It's like a confirmation right in itself. He's saying, you've got the winning ticket, Vanya. You've got the winning ticket. But are you ready to play it? You've got the winning ticket. Are you ready to play it? You already know the direction you're headed. Do you trust it? Are you going to dive in fully? Do you need my strength to help you do so? So, and he's saying, remind her what the Sapphire lineage does. The Sapphire lineage is the collective truth. It's a group truth. And it's about being able to see and know and hold that within a group. So, like the perfect example of that I always use is the Round Table, the Knights of Round Table with Arthur and his knights. There was no he was the king, but he was not above his knights. There had to be a hierarchy to set orders in place and do things, but they always made decisions together, that it's really union, that communal consciousness. And so the sapphire dragon holds that communal consciousness and that communal truth as a pillar to strive to, for us to ascend to evolve towards. And so he's saying by this, like, you've got the winning ticket, you already know where you're headed. Are you going to involve and use the gifts that you have for that moving forward, and trust it? Because you have that deeper knowing of what's going on with whatever community you're in. That could be family, that could be coworkers, that could be a project you're bringing forward or want to bring forward or a part of already, and how to move it. And so he's saying, trust it. It's a winning ticket. Move forward with it. So sweet and simple. I sort of love ending on that. Like, it's not going to get any better than that. And so he loved that I said, I've met like Joe, he's saying, and he has, most dragons have a great sense of humor, but some of them really go off with it. He is saying, yeah, let's use Joe. Call me Joe, Vanya, and I'm sitting on your right shoulder right now. Move forward. Let's do this. And I think that's pretty funny. And it's bringing to mind a story that I feel like I have to share of two of my dragon hearts, actually. I'll share the one in a session right before Christmas 2 years ago. There's a dragon named Abraxinius that I've been working with for years through a particular client that is her dragon self, and she's one of my dragon hearts. And Abraxinius came forward, and she was trying to like move into some lighthearted stuff, get us going into some giggle therapy, some laughter that releases and moves us forward, because truly we cannot ascend. This was a great input. Moving into our light body to really assimilate your light body, if you're having parts of it start to unfold, giggle therapy. We cannot actually anchor our light body fully without full-on giggle therapy, because that's when our body is lightest and it allows the most light to come in and actually anchor in. So she came forward and she presented when I started the session. There was a Santa hat. She had taken it and created this Santa hat on her head. And so I'm describing this, and it just was doubly funny, because my client said, you're not going to believe this, but on the nightstand or the little end table next to me, I have a dragon statue that is Abraxinius, and I put a Santa hat on her yesterday. And I was like, well, she loves it. She thinks it's really, really funny, and is definitely presenting that to me. And it's always those kind of things she does to verify, like, here's your confirmation. Here's like, it's real. Are you listening to me yet? So anyway, this was super fun. I will try to do it again more often than I think it's probably been well over a year since I've done one. So I will be better about offering these, because I love them. They're super fun. And hopefully you guys had some fun with it and have a great weekend. And we'll see what next weekend brings. Enjoy your Friday the 13th, all the magic that will unfold today. Whatever chaos is going in the world, hold space for magic. All right. Much love to you guys. Thanks for being here. And we will see you next week sometime. Bye for now.